everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely Ramadan. Today I'm going to show you how you make Dali Bora, aubergine fritters and cauliflower pakoras. They are very simple and easy to make. So to make the cauliflower pakoras, what I did first was I boiled the cauliflowers in some salt for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I took it off the heat into some iced cold water so it stops cooking and the crunchiness remains. And then I left that to a side. Now I'm going to show you how you make the batter for the cauliflower and for the aubergine fritters. So in a clean bowl, take some plain flour. I took about 2 cups of plain flour here. Next, add in 1 big spoon of rice flour. I think that's about half a cup of rice flour here. That spoon measures to probably about half a cup. And then add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Next, add in 1 teaspoon of salt. So add 1 teaspoon of salt. You can add salt later after mixing your batter. Just give it a taste and see if you need to add more salt. And then I've added some chili flakes. So I've added 2 teaspoons of chili flakes. Now I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of chili powder. You can miss out the chili powder and add paprika instead for color. And then I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. Mix all the dry ingredients using a spoon. And then add in water. I've used 2 cups of water here because I've used 2 cups of flour and half a cup of rice flour. Obviously, don't add too much water in. Add it in bit by bit. See how much you need so the batter doesn't become too thick or too runny. And then what I did was I added in some coriander leaves. Now I'm just adding in my water. So I'm adding the water in bit by bit, not in one go. Keep mixing it as you go along. So add a bit of water, then mix it, and then add a bit more. You'll notice I'm not using my hands to mix the batter here, guys. It's because we all have bacteria on our hands that we cannot see. And what will happen is if I use my hands to mix the batter, the bacteria will go in the batter, and if I've got some remaining batter left that's extra, I can always put that away in the fridge for another day. It will go off because of the bacteria from my hands that's transferred to the batter will go off. So once you've mixed it, the consistency of the batter should look like this. And then what you want to do is transfer half of the batter to another bowl, and I'll show you guys why. So the batter I'm putting into the silver bowl now will be for the cauliflower pakoras. So I'm just adding in big 3 spoons of batter. And I'm going to add in 2 eggs into this batter now. So I've cracked one in, just cracking another one in, and then give that a mix. The reason why I've added in 2 eggs into my cauliflower batter, guys, is because it gets rid of the foul smell that cauliflowers have. Cauliflower, cabbages, they've got this funny smell, and the egg should get rid of it. Once you start frying it, you'll see the difference. Now I'm just adding in the cauliflowers that I've boiled and kept to a side. So just added the cauliflowers in, and I'll give that a mix using a spoon. Once finished mixing the cauliflower, keep them to a side. It should look something like this. So now what I'm going to do is add in my aubergines. So I've sliced my aubergines into thin slices. Not too thin, not too thick. Just probably about 1 centimeter. And I've added that into my batter now. You'll notice I've kept my batter for the aubergine a little bit thicker. It's because aubergine will release water and your batter will become runny. So make sure you keep your aubergine butter slightly thicker. Now time to make the mixture for the Dali Bora. So in this bowl I have 2 small onions I finely chopped, 6 to 7 green chilies, some coriander leaves, and then I've added in 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, and 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. Once all that's been added in, add in 1 teaspoon of salt and give that a mix. I'm just using some gloves here, guys, because I don't want the masala to go inside my nails and stain my fingertips. So just using gloves. You can leave out the gloves, completely up to you. Once mixed, you can add in your lentils. Now these lentils, what I did is I soaked them for an hour or 2, and I just used my blender and blended the lentils. Once finished mixing, keep the bowl to a side. Your mixture should look something like this. Now in a pan, heat some oil on low heat. Add enough oil to deep fry the Dali Boras and roll them into small balls and just add them in one by one, like so. You want to make sure you keep it on low heat so you don't burn the outer layer of the Dali Bora and the inside doesn't get cooked properly. You can add in however many you can fit into your pan. I don't know how many I've added in, so just keep on adding in as many as you can. Once one side is fried nicely, you can flip them over. So once you've flipped both sides over, your Dali Bora should look like this. Then you can take them out of the oil. Next is frying the aubergines. So it's the same process as the Dali Boras to fry the aubergines. Add the aubergines in one by one. Make sure you coat the aubergines nicely on both sides with the batter before you throw them into the oil, and just fry them on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes until they're crispy on both sides. And finally fry the cauliflowers. So again, add it in one by one to the hot oil on low heat. Make sure both sides are fried nicely before you take them out of the oil. That's the pakoras and fritters done. Do give it a try. The cauliflower ones are delicious. I absolutely love the cauliflower ones and the aubergine ones. The Dali Boras I know a lot of us are familiar with.